Hello friends and welcome to episode number 7 of our Nova Roma Crusader Kings III modded playthrough. After a couple of wars which put us on the back foot, we seem to be springing forward now, chaining victory upon victory together. Aims for this episode are probably going to be to try to unite the north, and possibly try to weaken Karnata either through a direct war or through some proxy wars. One thing's for sure, soon we will have to prepare a succession. Rex Kylanius is now 60 years old. He's definitely entering the latter years of his life, and I would say he's been greeted with recent success. He stands at 60 years old with 19 diplomacy, 24 martial, 21 stewardship, 10 intrigue and 14 learning. You can definitely tell that intrigue is probably his weak point, which is I would say one of the reasons that he's focused on having his spy master always his friend, and his learning's pretty weak, which has probably got something to do with the reason that Roman culture has kind of struggled to take a hold here. It's only got a hold in the capital where we actually have a holy site constructed. But he's trying his bestest, which is all we can ask. We have 5,300 troops, including 2,000 still raised, that are coming back to our lands. Once they get here, we'll be disbanding them. Like so. It's going to take 3 months for us to raise them again. So we're just going to sit. We're going to take measure. We still have 2 treaties in place with the Elephant Gang and the Lion Gang, and honestly, at one point we're going to have to take this on. So if we were to just now, we actually have more troops if we call in all our allies than them, which I did not expect to have. But I think that's just a cherry that we're not looking to upset at this point in time. What I would like to do though is make our way out here towards the Scutrum Dynasty's holdings. Now sadly the father here is slow, he's infirm, he's also reclusive, and if we look at his son, he's also slow. We're too far away to interact with them apparently. So I think what we're going to look to do here this episode is, I think we're going to try and take hold here. I think we're going to try and take this land for ourselves and just get a new enclave set up. So I think we'll declare war, and I think we'll go for the holding here that's out on the coast. I think that's the plan. So we're going to declare war just now. We're going to give this to a brand new count. We raise our troops and then we'll send them on their way. Don't know if we actually need all of our men here. Probably not. So I think that'll do there. And then here. That'll do there. We'll send both of them over to say hello. We'll send one of the armies towards the capital, and then the second army can go towards the holding we actually want to capture. We'll send them on their way and we'll resume once they get there. So they're now approaching the coastline. You can actually see they've got a couple of thousand men there. We actually may need to be careful here because we are being attacked with numbers. So we're trying to bring in our troops to help here. This war could be over before it's even started. Luckily our troops have managed to combine into one army here, and we are getting the edge. I think it's going to be a lot larger a war than we initially sort of expected here. We have managed to get the win, but we've taken quite a bit of casualties, and we're obviously a lot further away in terms of replenishment than our sort of our enemy here in this war is. So we're sieging their holding, their capital holding. We're going to move and work our way along the coast. Looking at the situation, it'd actually be really nice to set up this sort of island here, outlet of land, as like a little sort of Roman enclave. So that's something we might look to do long term. I also think what we'll do is we'll raise the rest of our troops back home, and we'll bring them out here once they're ready. We'll land them, in fact, on the holding that we're trying to capture. So they'll arrive when they're ready. This is quite an expensive war just because of how far it is from our land, but it's an important war. It's an important war. This stewardship perk actually allows us to get administrator now, and administrator gives us an extra diplomacy, 3 stewardship, and our vassals will like us more. So I would say that's a fairly big thing in terms of sort of trying to keep the peace here, which is obviously something we want to do. We're about to siege that, and we've taken their capital. We'll move over here and see if we can siege some of their other holdings. We're at 88% war score already. We actually have the enemy leader in prison. I'm happy to ransom him here. This is fine being a long war with me. We're looking for money here more than anything else. This can go on for a wee while if it has to. Our troops here are starting to embark. They'll be getting on their ship, and we'll be sending them to here, I think, now, rather than going straight for the holding that we're after. We're fine here with a slow war. Troops have arrived. We're now on a treble siege here. They are sieging this holding, which I do not like. We may need to try and combine our armies and go at them here. So let's start doing that. Same here. We'll combine. We're going to try and form up our actual offensive army here. We'll send them all forward. Siege here's almost over. What we'll do here is we'll station the besiegers. We'll send a sort of vanguard forward. They're going to go forward as well, and we're going to try and make light work of this 2,000 here. If they take this, I'm just worried that the war will change target or something, and all the progress that we have here will be lost. So we're sending forward our advance party led by ourselves. You can see oh, they've got elephants. That's fairly rough. Reinforcements are starting to arrive though. Hopefully it's not too late. And it is not, although their elephants are doing some pretty serious work here. We'll move reinforcements up, just in case. We have now actually managed to convert a second province. I would say that's fairly massive for us. I'm going to do my best to see if we can actually convert all of the provinces on the Isle first before we move over. But good work. Very good work. Siege here is continuing, and if I do say so, we're looking excellent. I think we've actually inherited their siege. Artifacts seized. I seized religious carving after the siege. Okay, I mean, it doesn't seem very relevant to us, but we'll keep it in our hand, because it's better in our hand than in our enemies. We can always use it at some point to try and make a better trinket of our own. And with that, the war comes to an end. We will enforce our demands and disband as many of our troops as we can. They're going to come back here. So here, we want to give this to, I think, someone with excellent stewardship, and maybe an administrator if we have any. Court Shaman Magnus of Venuda. Now he's actually our court shaman. He has excellent... We probably don't want to give that to him. Let's just go with stewardship, and we probably don't want anyone overly zealous. Paulinus Amorian. He's 15 stewardship. He's Roman. He's young, so he's going to have a good run at it. I think he could be absolutely excellent here, so we'll do that. Congratulations. An excellent bit of territorial gain very early on. The prisoner situation here, I'm happy just to ransom. We'll just start making some money from this. Fine with me. Disband these troops and get our income stabilised. Happy to do that. We do need a court physician. This guy Alexander is average. We'll appoint him. We can demand 3 payments. Oh. My steward Commes Rufinus informs me that there is a desperate need for a new road to traverse the county of Baticola. Many of the old roads are dilapidated and even dangerous. A commoner by the name of Valerian has been put forward as the natural leader of the construction effort. And he is... he's not terrible. Good stewardship. See it done. Commes Rufinus. I think Commes Rufinus will trust in him. Valerian Macedonian. Okay, I think we'll trust Rufinus rather than any random local. We'll take any payments here that they have. Our own family, let's just take the payments to get rid of them. We want them succeeding. So we'll just take what they have just now. I think we also just converted culture once again, which is excellent to see. So we're very much getting a Roman island here. The full isle. I think we'll start in the north there. Then once that's done, we'll maybe look towards the mainland a bit more. But we're looking good. Good things happening. 600 gold in the bank. Let's see what we can build or construct anywhere around here. Be nice to keep Novo Carthago on the rise. So let's build ourselves some... let's make this an income holding here. Make income there. And then here we're going to get trade ports built. We want as many trade ports as we can. We want like a trade... You know, a trade empire really. Same with here. We'll go for a trade port all over if we can. Get some walls and towers there. Right, we've invested. We're trying to upgrade the Isle. It's very much the heart of our holding. And this is excellent here. This is excellent. So I wonder, is he now in range? He is. He is now in range. So we could technically declare war and bring them under our rule. But I don't think we'll look to do that quite yet. Not quite yet. I keep telling them to go straight through the field, but Valerian insists on rerouting them through the nearby woods. Commes Rufinus is visibly upset with the roadwork in Baticola. However, Valerian keeps insisting on his approach. The soil in the field is uneven and not dense enough, my liege. The forest is a much better path. Listen to your betters, peasant. Valerian does seem to know. Right? We're arrogant, so we'd be telling him to listen to his betters. Unfortunately. We'll hold a mystical commune. And we'll also work off some stress. Seeing that we can. Commune with Saturn. A new learning. What? We have a learning perk. Court position costs less to hire. We could go for scientific. Cultural fascination progress. I think we'll go with that just now. Excellent. Stress coping. Heavier is more. That is not enough, I think to myself, as I put down the training spear. I've been practicing non-stop, but I'm not getting tired. I need a tougher challenge. Yes, something bigger, or perhaps heavier. Something sure to tire me out. Rex Kylanius Randolfica will have to do. So we're going to do some exercise with the throne. I'll commission an extra hefty training spear. There's no need for improvement. Yeah, let's go for an extra heavy training spear. That sounds cool. Let's go with that. Okay, so in treaties we have only one just now against us. We're in debt, so we can't declare war right now. The harbours are being constructed. As Bruce trudges out the stable, dragging his legs and hanging his head, there can be no doubt the stallion is sick. No price is too steep for beloved Boreas. The road, a tavern. Christian Battle has met a delay. Villian reports that the workers have been corralled by a would-be innkeeper to save their souls, and that of other travellers, they are building a roadside tavern. Owned by the Crown, of course. Organised inns, yes please. Thank you very much. My steward seems almost shocked. I've been inspecting the road construction in Batacalola, and the peasant workers are so much more efficient than I expected. Even I might learn a thing or two from them. Can we use this knowledge elsewhere? Learning from peasants, the very thought is abhorrent. That seems very much along the lines of our arrogant, zealous, wrathful man. We will not be learning from peasants. Rex Kylanius, we have had our differences in the past, but don't you agree that it's time to let bygones be bygones? My wife Regina Madevi gestures from me to her. Whatever is between us, let it start anew. I didn't even realise that we had a beef. Your wife, lover and rival. If that isn't the greatest marriage, I don't know what is. Yeah, let us then. I didn't realise we were rivals, to be honest. According to Valerian, the work on the road in Batacalola is going well. The ground is firmer, and the stretches flatter than we hoped, my lord. Expand the road further. Yeah, let's expand the road further here. With the ongoing war, levies are using the completed parts of the road in Batacalola to quicken their march. Thankfully, heavy use is exactly what is needed to stomp the ground into shape. With some luck, most of the levies may come marching back as well. Get them to the front lines. Which way Valerian commands them. Let's get the way Valerian commands them here. I'm worrying about the sort of pop figure that we're possibly turning him into. Right here, can we finally bring an end to them? They have two allies, which are actually they're both fairly handy. But it would be absolutely tremendous to bring them to an end. We'd only take one of them off them. They do actually have a load of men here. And you have so many treaties. I think if we're doing anything here, we may even have to assassinate and then choose our moment to declare war. We could technically declare war here again and press up the west here. But we're starting to grind against Karnata, and I think this war there is inevitable. I've actually seen that we could declare war here and sort of join up the kingdoms. Although looking at it, we can now declare war here again, and we could try and join up these enclaves. That could be a really cool move. It pretty much put us on most of the east side of the Indian subcontinent, so I think that is going to be our next move. In terms of numbers, we should outnumber them. We can declare war for here. You know what? I'm not gonna overcommit here. I'm gonna be sensible for a change. I'm not overcommitting to this. We'll raise our troops here. We'll send a load of them to there, and the other loads going there. And then if we can, we're still higher in the Holy Order, it says. Okay, our troops are coming together. Taking a while to raise, but it's the nature of the beast. And we're going to move up and take, hopefully, their holdings. All of their allies have joined them. The Batacalola is finally complete. This might very well be the best roads in the entire realm, my liege, Valerian announces with pride. We gain one more. Yeah, let's invite this chap to our court. Let's go for detailed ledgers as well. So do we have any positions that we can actually assign him to, I wonder? Do we have a royal architect? We do. We do, so we can't replace that just now. Antiquarian, Alexander can take that job. Court tutor. Oh yeah. What I would actually like to do once we get the coin together, start trying to create some new relics. We've not really had any, like, you know, advancement in our own realm. We are sieging down two of their holdings simultaneously, and they're cut off from coming southwest. So we've isolated their army in two parts. Should they come to attack us as one, we might be in trouble, but I think we're close enough that we can reinforce each other if it really comes to it. Now, I am a little bit concerned about them possibly trying to gather up here. So I think what I'm going to do is leave enough troops here and then go and try and do something about them. I'll leave besiegers there, and then I'm going to move them here just so they can reinforce if need be. So we're trusting our commander here, the Grand Master of the Cult of Jupiter, and we have our reinforcements here ready to bounce whichever direction they should be called upon. They have actually broken their siege and they're running, but we're going to catch them by the looks of it. And then here we're about to take this holding, and I don't think they're too much longer for this war. They're still running. You've been successful there. We'll combine our two sieging armies. We'll keep chasing down up here in the northwest. In the northeast, sorry. We're going to keep chasing them just now, see where they're actually trying to run to. And we've caught them. They actually have a massive edge on us. This is not good for our war efforts here. This is really not good. Now, I could probably send these troops northeast to take care of them, and I think I will. I think it's important that we're going to lose this battle, but it's important that we bounce back and sort of try and eliminate them. The war score is already 91%, so we're getting there. That is a defeat, though, which is a big shame. We'll keep chasing them down, see where they're going. They're trying to get out of there. Saying we're not going to catch them, which is a shame. But they're going to spend money getting on their ships, which is going to hurt them. We're going to move back here and reform. We'll move towards our ally, I guess. Oh, they're sieging us down here. I kind of blindly ignored that. Well, I guess we'll move down here and we'll take up the defensive position. That's going to lengthen this war a wee bit. They're bringing numbers to us, that's for sure. Another new stewardship perk. I guess at this point we're going to try and go down for Avaricious. That was our allies' war. They've been defeated, but honestly the geographical limits really did stop us from helping there if we could. They can't afford any of those ransoms, so we're not going to bother with that just now. And we're going to combine our troops here into hopefully one army, and then we're going to go straight at them here. Straight at them. In fact, they are coming here. But I think what I'll do is we'll stay there and defend, and we'll bring reinforcements. This should be interesting. Very big battle here. Probably one of the biggest battles we've had in a while. And luckily, we're getting a start. We're attacking them with their reduced numbers. And a victory here could spell an early end to this war, which would be excellent for us. Fantastic. That's exactly what we wanted. Enforced demand straight away. Thank you very much. Disband our army. And now, my friends, now we have a joined kingdom. There's no longer a northeastern enclave. It is simply part of the giant spall, the sort of snake that we have going up the east coast of India. And then here we can give this away. Again, I don't want someone becoming too sort of powerful up here. You currently have 2 counties. We probably don't want to make you too much stronger. You, my friend, you're just a young man. We don't want to make you any stronger. I'll just give this to someone of our culture. I'm not particularly bothered too. Aurelius. Aurelius is a fantastic name. Happy to oblige there. I think at this point we're going to commission an artifact, and looking at our sort of regalia, I think we do need a piece of armor and possibly a better weapon. Like we really do. So let's start work on that. We've got a piece of armor. So what do we want? A flexible chainmail, dependable skein-mail, or laminar? I think we'll go with a chainmail. We'll get a nice chainmail on our beings, and then I think we'll call a hunt. We'll call a hunt. We'll try and bring our people together. Maybe spend a bit of time looking internally at what we can do better, what we can change. Think a creature from the myth, perhaps a god disguised in animal form. It was the largest boar I have ever seen. Even after the beast was wounded, the chase lasted half a day. I think it'll fetch a fine price on the market. Now, one thing we've not done in a while is look down here. So, our religion, Romanism, we could possibly look to reform it. We do have 4 of the holy sites now, I think. We have 4 of the holy sites, which is fairly massive. So that should help us in terms of our fervour and our expansion. We may look to do something with this eventually, but not just now. Not just now. In terms of our culture, we could possibly try and reform the Roman sort of the Roman traditions, but I think what makes more sense would be to try and diverge. So we need another 4,000 prestige, which means we're not even remotely close to doing that. So I don't think that's going to be Kylanius I's legacy. I don't think he will reform the Roman religion. But it's something that we can look forward to in the future. Like, that's something we want to do, is sort of create a new culture here. And on that note, Kylanius is returning home from his hunt reinvigorated, feeling good. Now, we do have someone here coming to us in court. My vassal Baro Kashyapa certainly takes their duties as royal architect seriously. His passionate debate with my steward, Commes Rufinus, dominates the room. Yes, precisely, Caspia exclaims. The ruins there are rife with cut stone that could easily be transferred to the Rex castle at Kylania. Rufinus rubs his chin doubtfully. Still, it sounds like a lot of work, and the locals who use those materials won't like it. Kashyapa rolls his eyes at the reasonable rebuttal, but is cut off by my Commes. The nearby temple of Kylania is in dire need of expansion. Commes Constantius squeals. This is where the rubble should go. Use 5th rep because you're an architect. I'll go to Saturn's house in Kylania. We'll get a free holding there. Or Kylania can get a free holding. Yeah, I'm happy to go with what they suggest. That's fine with me. We've been dragged into yet another war that we probably won't be taking part in. Our Holy Order is actually expanding, which is excellent. The stronger they get, the more help that we can call upon when needed. We can divine the stars, which is something that our character tends to do as often as he can. Let's see what they have in store for us. I spent many nights looking up at the night sky, tracking the movements of the celestial bodies. Over time I noticed a pattern, and after days of analysis I am now confident in my prediction. The signs are clear. We're now a dedicated worker, 2 stewardship and extra stewardship experience. Plus 25% that is. I'm not sure where these 3,000 have came from, but you know what? If they want to try and disrupt our lands, we will raise our army to its full extent and see what we can do about them. They're now getting on ships here, which I really didn't expect. I don't really know who they are or what they think they're doing. The Kingdom of Karnata is somehow in this fight, so we'll be raising our troops and we'll be going and trying to hopefully upset them. Waiting on this army to move out of the way here. We're not interested in fighting them. They're actually using the river to get around, which is interesting. So we're going to have about 5,000 men here versus 2,800. And it'll be nice to actually have a battle against Karnata where we can hopefully sort of ruin their day, to be honest. They're probably the biggest threat that we have in the region. So let's go across the border and say hello. Big battle on our hands here against probably the biggest enemy we have. Clementis waves me over with a wide grin. He has made Clementius Lustrious Male. That will immediately be getting renamed. We will be equipping it, but that will be getting renamed. The only thing that will be getting kept on that is the IUS at the end. Kylanius Lustrious Male. There we go. So we're now fully adorned, ready for battle at any given moment. And the battle to probably decide this war has kicked in. Oh. A local mystic, instead on seeing me, and upon being brought into my presence, he started wailing, and... Is that blood on his hands? The signs are in your favour, my lord. I spilled the intestines of a hen, and the blood showed me your future. It is glorious. Well, thank you. Is someone trying to kill us? Oh, we're taking some casualties here in terms of champions, which isn't good. The enemy banner. I sever the battlefield contemplating how this battle will be remembered and gaze towards the dead that remain. So we've got the enemy banner. You know what? We're going to destroy this as well. That's only going to weaken our biggest enemy in the area, which is completely fine with me. And I think now we'll start sort of chasing them down. You know what? Let's go siege their capital. That's going to weaken them massively. Oh! And we have a Dynasty Legacy. So here... I mean, it has to be warfare. It has to be warfare. Warfare has been fought constantly by the Randolfica under the Kylanius, first of his name. So I think that was a no-brainer there. Those are the two that make the most sense to me. He really has grown this dynasty into this pretty great thing, I think. But let's go siege their capital, hopefully weaken them for the long term, and we could even try and have a quick war against them. So we're about to siege their capital, like so. We will split the men in half, and we'll take half of them to the south here and start sieging a second holding. Just looking to weaken Karnata as much as we basically can. As much as we can. I didn't realise they have a completely different segment up here as well. So they're actually they're expanding quite a bit as well. We'll pass time, let this war sort of advance a bit. And we have a victory. We'll withdraw our troops, disband them, and then I think we might look to go to war here with... the enemy to the west. It does want us to hold court first though, and apparently someone's expecting a council position. Unfortunately, Komitisa Maka, you are not really in a position to be demanding anything. You're not quite competent enough. Everyone else is sort of doing their jobs. Can't ask for much more than that just now. We might as well hold court, right? We might as well. Let's get the plebeians in. Two of my vassals are pushing one another and jousting to reach my throne first. Commes Kylanius bows before me. My lord, murder is wanton in the city streets throughout Regnum of Nova Roma. It would be civilised if we instituted a ban on townspeople bearing arms, at least within the city limits. Commes Constantius kicks him out of the way. Safety is each man learning to protect himself. Banning carry of weaponry will castrate the townspeople. Keep our swords, lest our realm weaken. I think that's fair. We wouldn't want to weaken. Like we're a Roman kingdom with minimal control in the midst of a foreign culture and religion. The fact that our people can bear their own arms, I think, is essential. A haggard-looking peasant now stands in front of me. My lord, I beg for your help. A monster growls in the jungle of Masala, king. I think we'll fell the beast ourselves if we can. The man who approaches my throne is clearly a commoner. My lord, he begins his speech. I represent the local community of Nova Roma. The Masprints or centuries have been plagued. Alexander, you need to cut it out. You're actually a fairly competent. Yeah. Right, we're probably going to be fighting this massive beast now, so that'll be fun. Seeing as we took it upon ourselves. The monster of Pitta Purim. All the preparations completed, I set out with a selected group of guards to face the infamous monster that is terrorising Pitta Purim. It doesn't take us long to find it. A clear trail of blood leads us straight to the creature's abode. I was already informed of what to expect, but when the massive wolf finally stands in front of me, I can't help but shiver. Face me, foul beast. I think we'll take it on, we'll risk it. Monster killed. You gained the trait Hunter. 350 prestige. Rex Kylanius. The man's 65 and he's still doing bits. I think on return from that, he'd probably look around his kingdom and look to hopefully continue to strengthen. He'd look to continue to strengthen his trade network that he's been trying to construct around here, as well as his income. Okay, we've got 5.3 thousand. We are at war technically up here, but it's looking like it's a fairly straightforward one. Okay, Karnata have literally got allies for days here. We've got potentially 8,000. And I think we'd want to attack them for a duchy if we could. I don't know if that's going to happen quite so soon. I'd like to hopefully take them out of the game here. We could attack for the duchy here. 750 prestige, so it's more than I'd like to spend. I think we'll let time pass just now and we'll see how everything's going to sort of play out. I think what we'll also do though is raise some troops here and then move up to try and help. This is our ally after all. So we're going to send our 4,300 men up here to try and hopefully break the siege at this capital. We can inspire someone. We can sponsor someone. Wants to make something wondrous. I'm happy to give you money to do that. Thank you for the funding, my lord. My beneficiary video tries to keep his composure, but I can see the excitement in his eyes. Let's go for a splendid statue. Could be good to get a statue here, hopefully of ourselves. We are, after all, fairly arrogant. Okay, our troops are continuing to come here. I am hoping that we can break this siege, but it's going to be a fairly large battle looking at it. Special come to me with great news. Well, we do not know yet. Someone is plotting to kill me. I think we knew that that's been going on because there's been a few events popped up where it certainly left us suspicious. I think frustratingly they're just gonna manage to finish that siege. We'll hopefully be able to catch them here and sort of destroy their numbers. My beneficiary is requesting funds. I think we'd be happy to fund them here as long as the product it gives us is of a decent standard. We have lost that war. I guess if we've learned anything there, it's probably that we tried to help our ally too late. So hopefully that's a lesson we can take into the future. My vassal Baron Uja accosts me. Well met, my liege. I've heard about your patronage. Oh, he's wanting to give us some money to pass on, and I will absolutely pass that on. Don't you worry about it. Don't you worry about it. I would pay homage to you, glorious Rex. It's a show of my loyalty. He's giving us some money. We're receiving him, and he's giving us some renown and prestige. Thank you, good sir. I appreciate that. I will remember this. He's based up here in the sort of centre of our kingdom. He's on the front line, so we'll remember that. We will remember that. We'll also continue to increase control. Apparently the Maldives are suffering, which is news to me. So here our grandson is continuing to do bits. I think what we may look to do here is actually try to give him a duchy title. So we could usurp this, but I think to do so we'd have to take this over. And I think that's what we're actually going to do just now. We're going to take this bit of land off of our sort of long-term enemy here and try to give it to our son. Now the Holy Order, we obviously want to hire. We want to raise all our troops and want to go straight across the border, start causing problems here. I'm not going to commit all of our troops. The second army here is going to stay in our land. The rest of them will go to siege. That commons ruinous inherited contract obliges him to more than you have collected. We will, in fact, we'll write that wrong. We will write that wrong. Enemy allies are joining the war. Hopefully, not too much of a stress for us. I think it should be okay. But let's start marching just now. Hopefully, make light work of this. The siege has already begun. Here they come. So we're going to combine them. We're leaving our troops here. My daughter Licinia has given birth to a daughter. Since the little one is part of the Randolfica dynasty, she should be blessed with a good name. Helvia is good. I like Helvia. She does have a stutter, which seems to be fairly inherited down this line of the family, but Helvia is good. I'm sure she won't struggle throughout her life to say Helvia with her stutter. Right, they are actually coming to attack us. 4,000 versus 1,500. I imagine we should be fairly okay here. Meanwhile, the siege progresses. My lord, look at that wood, the grain, the density. I've never seen such fine quality before. 170 gold he wants. I think we'll go for a fair price, user stewardship. We've invested 35, which I'm happy with. This battle, meanwhile, is kicked off and it's pretty much taken the turn that we expected here. We're making very light work of their allies' army, which is excellent. Julius Caesar here, doing great work for us. That's what I like to see. And here we go. Stretch her over to me. We have a magnificent statue here. Excellent. We can put that straight up in our court. That's going to go in the... I think we'll put it close here. Oh, we've actually got a number of items here. I didn't realise. I had no idea. They're all pretty much identical as well. I honestly had no idea that we had items that I hadn't put out. Anyway, the magnificent statue is getting put up. It does look pretty cool. I'll tip the hat to that. It does look pretty cool there. So our court is finally starting to take a wee bit of shape. Battle 1 here is fairly massive for this war effort. Here the siege is about to be over. And with this coming over, we've got a Tamil Warhammer. It's always nice getting items, right? With this war being over, we will quickly ransom, I guess, whoever they have. And then we will look to end the war pretty much as quick as we can. And with that war coming to an end, if I'm not mistaken, that should allow us to now create this duchy. We'll then give the duchy to our grandson, the Duchy of Rahunia. Grant titles. There we go. I also I sort of imagine that this may fix itself here, so I'm not too concerned even if we do lose that. I'm really not. But that's put our heir into a stronger position, which I like. Commies Julius, I'm happy to give you another piece of land here. Increase the size and strength of our frontier. And this, honestly, this seems like a great place to stop. I'm getting a little bit concerned because that's 2 episodes in a row that we've actually made some great gains after a few setbacks. I think in the future we're going to have a very large war here coming in the form of us versus the alliance of the Indian continent. It's pretty much everyone in this. So that'll be a turnout for the books and certainly an event, I think. But for now, friends, until the next one, take care of yourselves and toodle pip for now.